Welcome to Charity Cup final action from Queen's Athletic Field on TV7, your community sports channel. I'm Bob Segworth, doing the play-by-play of this evening's championship match. And joining me to provide color commentary and expertise once again is Greg Zorbas, the coach of the Laurentian Voyageurs. Welcome, Greg, and we should be looking at, I think, one of the better contests of the year. Two, I think, of the best clubs in the senior division.
Yes, Bob. Both these teams are reputed to be the best two teams in Sudbury. I'm sure, though, that CS Italia and Croatia Adria have better ideas. However, Toyota have established themselves. The players on Team Toyota have been probably a collection of the best players who've seen in Sudbury, have established themselves here as the superior team so far this year. They have been undefeated in league play, and actually the only game they've lost so far this year is the defeat to the Toronto team Salvarini for the Ontario Cup last Sunday.
And that was a squeaker once again this year. Last year, the Salvarini defeated Team Toyota by a score of 2-1. And once again this year, Greg, another hard-fought contest. Sudbury took the lead this time, but managed to lose in the end by identical score, 2-1.
It was most unfortunate, Bob. I think Team Toyota was very unlucky in losing this particular game. I felt for sure prior to the game and even after the game, I thought that they should have won the game. They played well enough to win. They played against a team that they were by no means superior to Team Toyota. They were not outplayed. They held their own this year, and they were very unfortunate. They had close chances in the front of the net, especially during the closing minutes of the game, where they had a couple of breakaways and missed a couple of open nets. And in the game of soccer, you just got to put the ball in the net. They only scored one goal as a result, 2-1, and a very, very close and a very hard-fought game. But unfortunately, Team Toyota came up short.
And in this evening's contest, we're fortunate to have as our referee this evening Tony Cirillo, one of the two level one officials in Sudbury, and on the lines Cy Wong and Angelo Anselmo, both of whom are experienced senior officials themselves. So we should have a well-called game, both on the lines and in the middle. But I'd also like to point out before play gets underway that the Charity Cup has a long history. It was originally established as a tournament to raise funds to support players and their families who had been injured and because of injury unable to work. This tradition has continued with the annual tournament, although given the state of today's accident and other work insurances, the need for the financial support is no longer there. Play is now underway. Courvoisier controlling the ball, playing it back to keeper Scarcelloni. Team Toyota with possession of the ball. Keeper Scarcelloni with the long clearance into midfield. Rob Falvo gets ahead to it. Castrechino heads it forward. Courvoisier called on an infraction by referee Cirillo. Falvo with a quick free kick looking for Castrechino in the middle. Bob Gonco is there, gets ahead to it. Rob McTaggart, long ball forward looking for Nick D'Agostino. Van Zorbas to Castrechino. Castrechino into the middle. Scramble, and Renato Nicolucci. Long ball looking for Nicky D'Agostino, but keeper Danny Muyor is quickly off his line, controls the ball, settles things down, looking for the long clearance. Nicolucci in fourth, go up for that ball, headed to Castrechino. Flyers controlling the ball, Rob Zulich. Forward again to Castrechino, and into touch. Off the foot of Bob Gonco for Team Toyota. We'll be looking at a Flyers throw-in. Greg, in the first minute or so, it looks as if the Flyers are going to play a little more aggressively than they did the last match we covered.
Yeah, they seem to be a different team than they were a week ago when they were totally outplayed by Team Toyota and lost 5-1. So far they've been attacking. They are playing, in a 4-4-2 system, which is much more defensive-minded system. And if they're going to pressure Team Toyota, they have to utilize the midfielders. They have to bring them up and to support their forwards. Otherwise, it was 2 forwards against 4 defenders, like they did last time. They'd be in trouble. But so far, they appear to be doing just that.
Mario Cherry and a whistle called by referee Cirillo. I believe that call was against Castrechino for the Flyers, and we'll have a free kick awarded to Team Toyota. One of the players, I believe, that Coach Gallo pointed out for the Flyers in terms of the way he's been playing lately has been Rob Zulich, number 8 for the Flyers, Greg.
Robbie has been around the league for a number of years. He's a veteran of this club, and it's someone that they rely heavily if they're to do well this year. They depend on him a great deal, and he's been coming out lately. Has been playing extremely well for them.
And the header very easily covered by keeper Danny Muir. Dan with the long clearance. To Giacomo Antonio, to Cherry. Cherry tries to head it forward to Nicky D'Agostino, but Pasquale Vaccacuro with the clearance to Castrechino. Castrechino with control. Playing it over to Zorbas on the wing, but Courvoisier is there, into touch, and a throw in to Team Toyota. Courvoisier plays it back to Todd Damon. Damon to Courvoisier. Courvoisier into Giacomo Antonio. Lovely give and go there. Good play, good footwork. Successful challenge. Courvoisier trying to maintain possession of the ball to Nicky D'Agostino. D'Agostino into Courvoisier, playing it back for D'Agostino. Challenged by Falvo. And a throw-in awarded to the Italia Flyers by linesman Anselmo. Eddie Battiston challenged by Cherry. Falvo comes forward. And we have a handball indicated by linesman Anselmo outside the penalty area. So we'll be looking at a free kick to be taken by Team Toyota.
As you can see, Bob, in this particular play, the Flyers have brought everybody back inside the box. They've got 11 players defending.
And this should be a swinger into the box, but Vaccacuro gets a foot to it to clear for the Flyers into touch, and it'll be a Team Toyota throw-in. Greg, one of the things we noticed in the Ontario Cup game on the weekend was the inability of Team Toyota to do anything with set play after set play after set play. And I think in many ways that may have cost them the game.
Yes, they had a lot of chances. They had a number of set plays around the box, and unfortunately, they didn't take advantage of them, Bob. It's something that, it's a very important to capitalize on those, to force the other team to be concerned about it. And if you keep missing at the beginning of the game, as they did, the Toronto team, they were overly concerned every time they had to, turn possession of the ball over around the area, and they did not really apply that much pressure. They were not very successful on set plays.
With the goal kick, Eddie Battiston for the Flyers. Looking for Van Zorbas. Off to Giacomo Antonio, and a Flyers throw in to be taken by the captain and I think assistant coach of Italia Flyers, Kramer Forth. Leaves it for Rob Falvo. Falvo into Kramer Forth, challenged by Giacomo Antonio, but into touch once again. Falvo looking for Forth once again. Zorbas is there. Cleared forward. Rob Scarcelloni. The long high clearance. Nicky D'Agostino. Oh, Cherry gets the foot up on Rob Falvo. Whistle down by referee Cirillo, and a free kick awarded to the Italia Flyers. And they're pushing players forward as well, Greg. They're not only coming back, but they've got 8 towards the 18-yard box. Castrechino on the far wing, controlling that ball, challenged by Courvoisier. Giacomo Antonio is there, and a throw in to Italia Flyers.
Speaking to the Italia Flyers before the game, they are very determined to at least to give them a good game, if anything, tonight. They're optimistic also, and they got a good chance of winning for the first time in 5 meets against Team Toyota.
Castrechino brings the ball down, but is unable to put the shot on the net, well wide, and we'll be looking at a goal kick to be taken by Team Toyota.
Team Toyota, Bob, they're playing a 4-3-3 formation. As you know, 3 midfielders, 3 strikers, 4 defenders. And it's interesting to know that their sweeper, the player who's been playing sweeper most of the time, Rob McTaggart, is in the midfield for this particular game. He plays left midfielder. With Bob Gonko, of course, assuming a sweeper role for this evening.
Free kick taken by Toyota quickly. Giacomo Antonio looking for Cherry in the box, but Battiston is there, heads the ball into touch. And we have a Team Toyota throw in taken by D'Agostino to Nicolucci. D'Agostino into the box, but Danny Muir off his line quickly, covers no trouble. There was virtually no Toyota support in that area of the 18-yard box. Danny Mior with the clearance. Scarcelloni gets ahead to it for Toyota. Battiston, but Mior well off his line once again. Excellent job putting that ball under control. Pachito loses possession for Team Toyota. Denny to Zulich on the near side. Todd Schroeder challenged by Scarcelloni into touch, and we'll have a Flyers throw in. Looking for Zulich. Cesar Pachito gets a foot to it. Rob Denny coming forward in midfield. Denny with the ball. Puts it through down the middle. No problem. Gonko is there. Scarcelloni challenged by Schroeder into touch. Throw in to Team Toyota. Rob Scarcelloni with the throw in. Denny gets ahead to it. Castrechino chips it forward for Brother, but an excellent move by keeper Scarcelloni coming off his line, blocking that shot, and then putting the ball into touch.
That was a very, very good through ball, and it was a great play on the goalkeeper's part to prevent a goal. Young Castrechino, Carlo, I think he broke in. He read the play really well.
Zulich with the throw in, looking for Kramer fourth, but Todd Damon is there for the Toyota. Rob Denny watching the ball go into touch, taking the throw in for the Flyers. Denny looking for Kramer fourth. Nicolucci is there, but Van Zorbas regains possession for the Flyers, stripped of it by DiGiacomo to Cesar Pachito. Good one-touch ball. Looking for the head there of Cherry, but Battiston and Vacachuro back for the Flyers. Whistle down and a free kick awarded to the Flyers. Eddie Battiston giving his players time to move forward, get into position for the free kick.
The Flyers are a much more determined team than they were, 10 days ago, I believe, the last time they played Team Toyota, Bob. As you said earlier, they're moving quickly in the forward line, and collectively they go back on defense.
Battiston looking for Castrechino. Pushed forward by Nicolucci, but Battiston is back. Plays the ball back to keeper Mior. Mior plays it out to Rob Denny. Denny coming through on the near wing. Castrechino loses possession. Rob Scarcelloni looking for that through ball for Mario Cherry. Eddie Battiston is there for the Flyers. Cuts it out of danger. Into the middle looking for some support, but DiGiacomo comes away with it to Nicolucci. Nicolucci challenged by Falvo into touch. And a Flyers throw in. Robbie Falvo to Kramer fourth. Plays it back to Falvo. Falvo with the long ball. Todd Damon is there. Looking for Bob Gonko. Being challenged by Schroeder. But Scarcelloni quickly off his line. Covers that ball easily. And Todd Damon. To Ray Nicolucci. To Mario Cherry. Looking for D'Agostino. But played back to keeper Mior for the Flyers. Greg, right now we're not seeing much in the way of build-up by either team. One or two passes and it's one end to the other.
They both play cautiously. They don't want to give the other team a chance at all, and we haven't had any shots on goal as a result. The play is in midfield for most of the first 10-15 minutes of the game so far.
Todd Damon comes away for Toyota. Challenge there. Zorbas coming forward. Steps into the ball, but can't get much on it. Wide of the net, and we'll have a Team Toyota goal kick.
I understand we're having an international match coming up. Bob, can you tell us more about it, please?
Well, on the 29th of July, that's a week today, it's the Glasgow University Football Club, a touring team, playing Team Toyota at Queen's Athletic Field at 7:30. And in a moment or two, Greg will be able to talk a little bit more about the history of the Glasgow University Club and the quality of the side. Kramer fourth moving forward, challenged from behind by Cesar Pachito and whistled down by the referee on that tackle from behind. Once again, referee Cirillo putting his mark on the game, getting it under control and maintaining it under control. Pasquale Vacachuro to take this free kick. Once again, the Flyers have moved 8 players up. 9 players up. Looking for Kramer fourth, but headed away by Robbie McTaggart. Vacachuro heads it back to Eddie Battiston. Ball pushed forward and offside. It's an excellent example there, Greg, of the offside trap.
Yes. Team Toyota played that extremely well. They're all look at each other, the four backs. They move together as a group, and as a result, I think they forced Carlo Castrechino to be offside on a particular play.
Larry Courvoisier with the ball on the free kick for Team Toyota. Directing traffic, pushes it forward for Bob Gonco. Gonco challenged by Castrechino, but gets to Nicolucci. Nicolucci challenged once again. Tight marking here. Zorbas going after D'Agostino. D'Agostino plays it back to Todd Damon. Switching the field of play to Rob Scarcelloni on the near side. Scarcelloni looking for support, plays it to McTaggart. McTaggart off Castrechino. Courvoisier for Team Toyota. Good skills there. And a foul whistled down by referee Cirillo on number 3. That's Gino Castrechino as he challenged Larry Courvoisier for the ball. Bob Gonco into the middle looking for Pachito. Headed down, Mario Cherry with the ball. Maintaining possession. Challenged by Falvo. Over the goal line. And
that'll be a corner kick. Rob Falvo, in clearing the ball, kicked it over his own goal line.
Referee indicated a corner kick on that one. And Rob McTaggart will be taking this corner kick for Team Toyota. An opportunity here for a set play. It will be an in-swinger. The ball will be spinning towards the net. Pachito gets up in the air but can't get his head to it. And at least I believe that was Pachito. It may have been Courvoisier, but in any event, it was a crossbody that Sid Forster would have been proud of. He certainly took his man out of the play, but that isn't the name of the game in soccer.
It was a little bit too aggressive on that play, to say the least.
And we're looking at a free kick. Eddie Battiston for the Flyers. Looking for Zorbas on the far wing, but into touch. And we'll have a Team Toyota throw in. The international game that's coming up, Greg, Glasgow University is a football club affiliated with the University of Glasgow. It has 5 teams. And of the 5, 1 plays in the very prestigious Caledonian League in Central Scotland. And 9 of the players in that team will be in Sudbury. 2 teams play in the Scottish Inter-Universities League. And we have, I believe, 5 players from the second 11. And then 3 other teams play in regular Scottish local leagues. Into touch here. So that what we've got is basically 13 of the best 22 players from that club. And Glasgow University Football Club has gone through the qualifying rounds in the past with success in the Scottish Championship. So we know it's a quality side with a long history. Into the box, looking for Courvoisier, cleared by Vacachuro. Castrechino gets ahead to it, looking for Cherry. He goes up with the foot once again and is whistled down by referee Cirillo.
It sounds like the Glasgow team should be a very, very good team, and the Sudbury fans will enjoy a good caliber of game. I think every time we've had them in the past year, I believe Queen's Park was here a few years back, and they play a super game. And it was a tremendous crowd out to watch them too, and we expect the same thing this time.
We certainly do, Greg, and the Glasgow team is in Canada. It played last night in Scarborough, had a successful result. We're not sure which team it was that they played. We know they're playing York University this week. Has McTaggart with the cross, but no problem for keeper Mior as he comes off his line. Pulls that ball down. No one in a red shirt close enough to get ahead to that ball. Todd Damon for Toyota. Larry Courvoisier with the foot up and whistled down quickly by the referee.
We should also qualify, Bob. You mentioned Glasgow Football Club, not the football that we know in North America, of course.
No, this is real football, which of course is soccer. Everywhere in the world, except in North America, soccer is football. Played back by Damon to his keeper Scarcelloni. Maintains control. Allows his players to move up and a long clearance. Looking for Cherry, but Denny is there, gets ahead to it. Scarcelloni plays it over to Giacomantonio. Nicolucci for Toyota, loses possession. Schroeder tries to put it through for Kramer fourth. Into touch, and an Italia Flyers throw in. Flyers are moving players forward once again. We're about almost 20 minutes into the first half. No score in this Charity Cup final match between Italia Flyers and Team Toyota. Kramer fourth, tackled by Todd Damon, whistled down by referee Cirillo, and a free kick, an opportunity for a set play just outside the 18-yard box for the Flyers. They're bringing players forward, getting them into the box. Rob Falvo to take good chip forward into the box. Scarcelloni up and pulls that ball down on the cross, and
That was an easy play for the goalkeeper. Rob Scarcelloni is excellent in the air. He has demonstrated that in the first 10 games that he's played this year.
we have a free kick awarded to Team Toyota by referee Cirillo. And Toyota moves players forward. Gonko into the box for Cherry, gets ahead to it, but Battiston for the Flyers. Ray Nicolucci, hard shot off the Flyers. Gonko, Courvoisier with the ball, plays it for Nicolucci. Nicolucci looking for some support on the wing, but neither Mario Cherry nor Rob McTaggart are there. Keeper Muir brings it inside the 18-yard area. Controlling that ball, taking his time, letting his players move forward before a long clearance. Kramer fourth for the Flyers. Loses possession. Courvoisier for Nick D'Agostino. Chips it forward for Mario Cherry, but Ed Battiston is there. Watches it go into touch, and the Flyers throw in. Battiston plays it to keeper Muir. We have a whistle by the referee while we repair the corner flag. Keeper Muir challenged there by Nick D'Agostino, but no trouble. Safely back to Eddie Battiston. Battiston for the Flyers. Long ball looking for Todd Schroeder. Schroeder challenged by Rob Scarcelloni. To McTaggart. McTaggart chests that ball down to Ray Nicolucci. Nicolucci coming forward. Looking for some support to Pachito. Pachito lets the ball go into touch off his left foot, and we'll have a Flyers throw in. Rob Denny to keeper Muir. To Pasquale Vaccaro for the Flyers. Vaccaro with the ball. Challenge there. Gonko gets a foot to it. To Cesar Pachito. Pachito with the ball, looking for Ray Nicolucci. Returns it off the head. Looking for Cherry. Good ball through. McTaggart is there with the cross. No one there for Team Toyota, and just wide of the far post.
That was an excellent 1-2 touch with Team Toyota. I mean, they played the ball one touch for 4 or 5 passes in succession before Rob McTaggart, I think he was trying to cross the ball.
That's what it looked like, Greg. Because the way Rob could boot it, if he had decided he wanted a clear shot on net, and he had a clear shot on net, it would have been going in the vicinity of 50 to 60 miles an hour, I would suspect.
He's got one of the hardest shots in the league, if not in Canada. Team Toyota, their style, certainly it's not a long ball style. I mean, the players they have in midfield, the experience and poise that they have, I think if they keep a short ball game and they pass the ball short distance in the midfield, I think, and they can build it up from there, they can be very, very hard to beat, as they have done in the past here in these years. 2 games ago or 3 games ago, they played the Flyers again using a short pass game, and I think they just scored 5 goals. They could have had another 2 or 3.
McTaggart gets ahead to it, to Pachito. Pachito with the ball. Can't control it and into touch. Denny for the Flyers, looking for his captain, but Nicolucci comes forward to D'Agostino. Castrechino intercepts. Played back by Bob Gonko for Team Toyota. To Marinos, to Giacomantonio, back to Gonko. Como gets ahead to it. Castrechino coming forward. Challenged by Scarcelloni. The keeper came off his line extremely well there to cover another dangerous scoring opportunity for Castrechino.
Yes, he did. It was a good play again by young Castrechino. He getting around the defender, and it just pushed the ball a little bit too far, allowing the goalkeeper to get to it first.
Cherry challenged by Battiston. Battiston puts it into touch and allows his midfield to get back.
I've often wondered about what would happen if, not good, if either one of the goalkeepers is hurt, because both teams, they don't have a sub goalie. On the bench, they play with one goalkeeper.
Well, I remember, Greg, a game or two ago, you commented that two of the most difficult commodities in soccer to find were keepers and strikers, and certainly that's been a problem for many of the teams in Sudbury over a long period of time. And in fact, there have been cases. I think this year, Danny Muir was out for a game or two. He was injured, and they were bringing up youth keepers from the youth league to cover. And there really is a dearth of quality goalkeepers in the Sudbury area. Flyers through the middle. Scarcelloni is there. Marino Scarcelloni, the keeper for Team Toyota. With the clearance, looking for Pachito. Zulich comes forward with the ball. Zulich to Como. Como challenged by Rob Scarcelloni for Team Toyota, into touch. Como looking for Zulich. Heads it forward. Bob Gonko is there, plays it safely back to his keeper.
Young Como came on a few minutes ago, replacing Todd Schroeder. Of course, Young Como is a Bantam age player, I believe. He's only about 15 or 16, and last time he played with the Flyers, he scored a goal, and he looked very impressive.
Yeah, he certainly did. I can remember a number of excellent runs down the wing that he made, and some lovely ball control skills demonstrated as well. Scarcelloni, the long clearance. Falvo is there for the Flyers, into touch. And Marino Di Giacomantonio for Team Toyota. About 20 minutes left to go, no score in this Charity Cup final between Team Toyota and Italia Flyers, as referee Cirillo whistles down a tackle and awards a free kick to Team Toyota. They push 7 players into the box. Giacomantonio cleared out. Cherry challenged by Kramer fourth. Denny gets a foot to it. And a good rising shot by Ray Nicolucci, but just over the net. 3 points, as the boys in the truck used to say. Field goal. But again, a good shot on the part of Ray.
Again, we see Team Toyota making 3 changes. Wholesale change here. When you have a lot of good players, they say, many people would say that it's a nice problem to have. Sometimes may not be all that nice, because when everyone on the bench and those who are not dressed are expected to play, can create some dissension on the team. And when you try to satisfy everyone, it's a tough position for the coach. And again, on the other hand, when you make too many changes, it tends to disrupt the flow of the game and the pattern and style of play.
Well, we have Mario Campanolo in now. Mario D'Agostino has come off the bench as well for Toyota. Kramer fourth on the whistle, playing it for Rob Zulich. Zulich on the near side, on the near wing, looking for some support in the middle with the cross. Looking for Zorbas. Castrechino challenged by Di Giacomantonio, who plays it forward to John Martelli, who's also come off the bench. Kramer fourth controls the ball for the Flyers. Off to Giacomantonio, and Rab Falvo is there. Challenged by D'Agostino, but Battiston pushes that ball forward for the Flyers. Scarcelloni is there, no trouble at all for Toyota. Bob Gonko was well back to cover in case of any pressure from the Flyers. D'Agostino gets ahead to it. Campanolo and Martelli together. Campanolo, tried to backheel it to Martelli, but Falvo controls that ball on the side, into touch, and we'll have a Team Toyota throw-in. Greg, I'm noticing in the last minute or two, maybe perhaps just since the substitutions, it seems like the Team Toyota forwards are putting a little more pressure on the back four of the Flyers, and as a result, they seem to be getting a little more possession of the play.
Yeah, they appear to be getting more help from the midfielders. The midfielders are pushing up. When you have 3 forwards and you have a couple of midfielders coming up, then certainly they tend to put a lot of pressure on the other team's defense. It has been the last few minutes.
Zorbas for the Flyers, to Todd Schroeder. Schroeder challenged by Damon, Plays it square to Zulich. Zulich looking for Schroeder once again. Schroeder looking for support. Plays it off Bob Gonko. Como is there for the Flyers. Como on the far, near wing with a cross into the middle, but excellent hands there by keeper Scarcelloni. Hanging on to that ball. On the cross from Derek Como. Clearance. Allowed to go into touch, and we'll have a Flyers throw in. Robbie Zulich for the Flyers. Off Mario Campagnolo. Larry Courvoisier heads it forward looking for Mario DiStagostino. John Martelli controls that ball on the ground, plays it wide to DiGiacomo for Team Toyota. DiGiacomo looking for support. Through to Campagnolo. Tried to play it back to DiGiacomo, but Falvo comes forward as he did numerous times last game, Greg. Excellent offensive fullback.
He is, yes. He's probably the most consistent player for the Flyers over the last few games.
Courvoisier looking for Scarcelloni, who had made a run from his fullback position on the left side, but pass was errant, into touch.
Rob Falvo was, about a few years back, he was at the provincial team, under 16 squad, one of the very few players that we've had from Sudbury, being a regular member on the provincial team.
Eddie Battiston pushed the ball forward, looking for Todd Schroeder. Courvoisier is there. Scarcelloni chips it forward, looking for Campagnolo. Campagnolo, good turn there, fending off Rob Denny, coming forward. He's got some support in the middle. Oh, plays it through right onto the foot of Pasquale Vaccacuro. Vaccacuro to Castrechino. Gino Castrechino with the ball, keeps it away from Courvoisier. Plays it wide, looking for Kramer Fourth. Fourth on the move, on the far wing, looking for support. To Castrechino, challenged successfully by Courvoisier. And Rob Falvo is there to play it back to his keeper, Danny Muir. Muir with the clearance. DiGiacomo up the back of Van Zorbas, whistled down by referee Cirillo. And a free kick to be taken by Robbie Falvo. Falvo for the Flyers, waiting for his players to get into position. Looking for a target. Directing traffic here. And chips the ball forward, looking for Zulich. Rob McTaggart is there. Courvoisier on the back of Kramer Fourth, but play on. Ball pushed through. No danger there. No one from Team Toyota running onto that ball. Vaccacuro for the Flyers. Bob Gonko chips forward to Ray Nicolucci. Nicolucci on the near wing for Scarcelloni. Chests that ball down. Clears it forward. Pasquale Vaccacuro to Battiston. Challenged by Mario D'Agostino. In the middle, Courvoisier on fourth. DiGiacomo coming forward. Plays it for Mario D'Agostino. Keeper Muir plays it off the foot of Martelli into touch, and we'll have an Italia Flyers throw in. Greg, one of the things I'm noticing tonight, and I can tell the game is going a little differently as we're 30 minutes into the first half with no score, is that the Flyers have much more possession in this game of the ball than they did the last time, because the last game I can remember it seemed like about every second name I mentioned was Vaccacuro, the sweeper for the Flyers, and tonight I'm not having to use his name as frequently.
Bob. The basic difference between this game and the previous game is this game I think the Flyers came to play. I mean, the last game they should have stayed home. I mean, they were so lethargic. It was ridiculous. I mean, they look alive. They play well offensively, defensively. They move up and down the field as a team, and then the game has been so far great.
Good throw in there, but keeper Muir well off his line, covers that ball well, brings it down to his chest, as a good keeper should, and Rob Zulich with the ball. Chip forward. Todd Damon is there for Toyota. Challenged by Schroeder, but plays it back to Bob Gonko. Gonko challenged twice, beats two players there, plays it to Robbie McTaggart. McTaggart playing in a rather unfamiliar midfield position, plays it back to Todd Damon, finally back to keeper Scarcelloni. Marino Scarcelloni to his right back, Todd Damon. Courvoisier tries to turn on that ball, but Flyers come forward once again. Through ball for Kramer Fourth. Offside signaled by linesman Cy Wong, and we'll have a free kick awarded to Team Toyota.
A slight delay on the part of Gino Castrechino pushing the ball forward to Kramer resulted in an offside. It was a good run by Kramer. Had Gino passed the ball just a split second prior to it.
Campagnolo with the ball here for Team Toyota, challenged by Vaccacuro, maintaining control. Beautiful move there. Good skill. Oh, lovely play. Oh, and Martelli on the shot. Wide of the net, off the netting. But excellent skill
Yeah.
demonstrated there by Campanolo and
Just
getting
a
that ball to
super play,
Martelli.
Bob. Just getting it on a defender and just laying off a feather pass. Martelli should have had a better shot on that because he had lots of time and a lot of room. But the play of Mario Campanolo was most impressive. It has been in the last few games. Every time he's been on, whether before or defense, and sometimes he's playing defensive position, he's played extremely well. And he has demonstrated not only super skills, but also a lot of maturity for an 18-year-old.
And another substitution here for Team Toyota. Rob McTaggart is taking a break, and young Mr. Palladino is on. Foul for the Flyers. To Van Zorbas. Zorbas looking for Castrechino on the far wing, but once again, keeper Scarcelloni well off his line, gathers it in, settles his players down before making the clearance. A long clearance, looking for the head of Martelli. Martelli challenged by Falvo. Falvo comes away with that ball once again to Gino Castrechino. Todd Schroeder in the middle. Challenged by Scarcelloni. Fourth. Beautiful play. Todd Schroeder challenged by Courvoisier. Schroeder and Courvoisier. And a corner kick awarded there. Shoulder to shoulder.
That was a very, very close call. It could easily be called a penalty shot. It was a tough call for the referee to make, but he pushed him from behind, Bob, inside the area.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of referees would have called it. It could have been a penalty shot. Could have easily been called a penalty shot.
Well, the referee concedes that he allows the corner. And I see that sweeper Vacachura was over at the bench, and trainer Danny Gallo was attending to him. Let's hope it's nothing too serious. I know that he's got that left knee very heavily bandaged on the corner, looking for Castrechino. Kramer fourth can't connect there for the Flyers, and Van Zorbas intercepts that clearing pass to Kramer fourth. Kramer fourth, challenged by Ray Nicolucci. D'Agostino, challenged by Zulich and Falvo, looking for the near wing. Palladino gets there, but Castrechino comes away with the ball. Castrechino into the middle, looking for Zorbas. Zorbas, Carlo Castrechino with the shot, high and wide of the net, and a goal kick to be taken by keeper Scarcelloni. But the Flyers are putting the pressure on in the last 10 minutes or so, Greg, of this first half.
They've had some good chances. You know, they haven't been able to test the goalkeeper very well. I mean, a few times that they broke in, Scarcelloni was very, very quick in coming out and cutting the angle down. They've never had any good shots. They play extremely well in the attacking third.
Well, into the game for the Flyers is Dino Benedetti as captain fourth takes a break. Greg he's indicated to us that he had broken a bone in his foot some time ago, and it still gives him some trouble. Hopefully, this won't be a serious problem. It's just a matter of a bit of a rest.
You know, Kramer is one of those players, you know, that he has to be completely broken before he stays off the field.
Well, as we mentioned, I think 2 games ago, I'm amazed how much of the play of the Flyers goes through him.
Well, he is like in football, if I may use that term, the real football.
Rugby football.
He is the quarterback of the team. He's the player that they look to lead them, and he's a midfielder, and he creates most of the plays from midfield. And as you can see, he's the type of player that not only he's known for his aggressiveness, but also for his two-way play. You know, 1 minute he'll be in the attacking penalty area, and the next second he'll be in his own defending. So he's an all-in-all player.
Rob Falvo, headed down by Todd Damon, pushed forward. D'Agostino pushing it forward for Martelli, but Vacachura is there. Lets it go over the goal line, and we'll have a throw in to the Italia Flyers. Vacachura indicated he had sufficient speed. The one leg was good enough. For the Flyers, he got there to ensure that ball didn't create any problems. Courvoisier gets the foot up, but play is on. Challenged by the Flyers. Todd Schroeder challenges Todd Damon. Schroeder coming forward with the ball. Bob Gonko. Oh, bad pass there. Schroeder attempts the shot, but Gonko gets into position to block it. And it goes into touch, and we'll have a Italia Flyers throw in. We have about 8 minutes left in the first half of this Charity Cup final match. No score between the Italia Flyers and Team Toyota. DiGiacomo controlled by Castrechino. Castrechino with the ball. He's got lots of support in the middle, but Damon gets ahead to it. Falvo back to Castrechino on the far wing. Martelli is there. Into the box. Oh, through Zorbas. It's a shot, Zulich. Shot by the Flyers, through, but keeper Scarcelloni, well positioned, covers that ball. And with the clearance, Vacachuro can't get his head to it. Roberto Denny. Denny for the Flyers with the clearance. Into touch. Martelli is down. Referee whistles stoppage in play.
Young Rob Denny on the right fullback is another player that his coach is very, very impressed, and he's very high on him so far. As you probably know, he was a center forward for a number of years, and he's been switched back in that position. And he has adjusted extremely well, and he's playing that position with, you think he'd been there for a number of years. He's playing with a lot of experience. He's known for his speed and his excellent shot.
He certainly demonstrated lots of speed in the last game that we covered. Palladino, Campagnolo. Challenged by Battiston. Tough tackle. Too much player and not enough ball, indicated by referee Cirillo, and we'll have a free kick to be taken by Team Toyota. This is a potentially dangerous one just outside the 18-yard box. They're bringing players forward, and maybe we'll see one in the last two games that Toyota can
take
finish.
Take advantage of.
Palladino into the middle. Muir is up. D'Agostino got a head to it, but couldn't head it into the net, and it was cleared into touch by the Flyers.
That was a very dangerous play. It was actually a well-taken kick to the far post that Danny Muir failed to clear.
Off the head of Robert Scarcelloni. Benedetti for the Flyers on the far wing. Challenged by DiGiacomo. DiGiacomo coming forward with the cross. Two Toyota players punched away nicely by Danny Muir, but an infraction indicated by the referee Cirillo. And Greg, that's something that we don't see all that much of, is the keeper coming off the line to punch the ball where he feels he can't catch it and maintain possession.
It's a very difficult thing to do. The goalkeeper, it's a decision that he has to make, and he has to live with it. If he misses the ball, as you see many instances at the professional level, and in the World Cup, for example, a year ago, and the first goal was scored as a result of a goalkeeper missing a cross, and a player put it in the empty net. And it's a tough decision for the goalkeeper to make.
Toyota building here. DiGiacomo with the shot. No one running onto that ball. And we have a signal of a substitution for the Flyers.
In the case, Bobby, we were speaking about the goalkeeper. In the case of young Dan Muir, he's not extremely tall. He's rather short for a goalkeeper, and I think that's to his disadvantage in challenging the high balls in the front of the net, especially when he's confronted with a very tall forward or a midfielder.
And Toyota has a few of them up there now, two D'Agostinos and Mario Campanolo, and I think they're all 6-footers.
Well, I think Mario was 6'4".
Yeah, and still growing.
Still growing.
Next thing we know, Coach Campbell from the basketball Voyageurs will be scouting him, Greg, instead of the soccer fees.
No, I think we'll make sure that he stays with soccer. He's a much better soccer player than he's a basketball player.
All right, we have about 4 minutes left in the first half of the Charity Cup final. No score between Team Toyota and Italia Flyers. Good scoring opportunities on both ends. I'd have to say that I think the Flyers have had better and more scoring opportunities, and that's a big change from a week ago this evening. Falvo to Vacachuro. Vacachuro turns on the ball, clears it forward, but Palladino is there. Palladino looking for someone on the far wing, but Rob Falvo cuts the ball out for the Flyers. To Zorbas. Zorbas turns on the ball, controls, challenged. DiGiacomo with the ball, challenged. Todd Schroeder finally clears that ball. Nick D'Agostino pushing that ball forward. Mario Campanolo challenged by Eddie Battiston. Campanolo can't quite control that ball with his left foot. It goes into touch. And Robert Denny plays it to keeper Danny Muir. Throws it out to Rob Falvo. Falvo to Castrechino. Zorbas. Challenged by DiGiacomo to Ray Nicolucci. Nicolucci looking for some support. Plays the ball square, and Zulich is there to cut that ball out. Plays it to Kramer Forth, who's back in for the Flyers. Forth challenged by Crevoisier. Forth comes away with the ball. Another challenge, Crevoisier. Loses possession to Castrechino. Castrechino with the ball. Long ball down the near wing, but no one there. And Bob Gonko playing it to Todd Damon. Potentially dangerous ball there, but a good pass. As Ray Nicolucci looking for D'Agostino on the far wing. Rob Falvo gets ahead to it and heads it into touch. We'll be looking at a Team Toyota throw-in.
One thing that Team Toyota I've noticed they've done in the last few minutes, and I think the last 20 minutes I should say, they managed to move the ball around with ease with the back four. You notice one full back will push the ball to the sweeper to the other side, and they can move the ball very comfortably back and forth, and most of the time on challenge too, by the Flyer forwards. It's something that the Flyers will have to apply a bit more pressure, not to allow them to build up from the back four and up to the midfield.
Well, that was one of the things that I was noticing about the Flyers back four initially in the game, that they were being able to move the ball across the field at the back quite comfortably. And when the substitutions were made, Mario D'Agostino and Mario Campanolo started putting a little more pressure on the defenders, and suddenly it wasn't so easy. More pressure on the defenders, more balls being coughed up for the Toyota midfield, and better scoring opportunities for Team Toyota. As Eddie Battison prepares to take this goal kick for the Flyers, into the middle, Kramer fourth to Zulich. Zulich plays it back to Castrechino. Off Nicolucci, who challenged. Kramer fourth, pushed by Crevoisier, whistled down by referee Cirillo. And we move into the last minute of the first half with Team Toyota. No score. Italia Flyers, no score in this Charity Cup final, coming to you on TV7, your community sports channel, from Queens Athletic Field. Giacomo Antonio to Todd Damon. Damon for Toyota. D'Agostino can't control the ball, into touch, and we have a throw-in off. Pushed forward to Castrechino, challenged by Scarcelloni. Scarcelloni gets a foot to it, headed back. Damon with the head. D'Agostino there, tries to chip it for Campanolo, but can't get it through. Todd Schroeder for the Flyers, into touch, and a throw-in taken by Todd Damon. D'Agostino plays it back, no support in the midfield, and Kramer fourth comes forward for the Flyers. Plays the ball on the near wing. No one running onto that ball. Zulich challenges Palladino. Palladino plays it back to Nicolucci. Nicolucci looking for support. Plays it back to Todd Damon on the far side. Damon with the ball, looking for D'Agostino. Battiston is there, plays it to keeper Muir, who covers that ball nicely. No danger there as Nick D'Agostino moved forward to challenge. And that's the end of the first half of this Charity Cup final. No score in this game between Team Toyota and the Italia Flyers. We'll be back for the second half action in just a moment. Italia Flyers and Team Toyota, no score as the second half gets underway. Zulich, long ball, clearing it out of harm's way. Bob Gonko for Team Toyota. Larry Crevoisier playing it to Todd Damon. Damon chested ball down. Todd Schroeder on him to Crevoisier. Kramer fourth, intercepts to Castrechino. Castrechino coming forward. That's Gino Castrechino. Into the middle for fourth, gets ahead to it. Damon and Schroeder out of play. And Todd Schroeder there for the Flyers. We'll have a corner kick be taken by Van Zorbas. If I remember correctly, Van's a right-footed kicker, so this should be an in-swinger. Well out. Oh, beautiful header there. Lots of power behind it. That was number 6, I believe, Rob Denny. No, that was number 8, Rob Zulich, who got up, got his head to it. Powerful header, but high and wide of the net. Okay, we're getting play underway. Scarcelloni for Toyota with the clearance. Zulich for the Flyers. Nick D'Agostino with that pass to Mario D'Agostino. Oh, looking for Mario Campanolo, but Rob Falvo was there, clears the ball into touch, and we'll have a Team Toyota throw-in, I believe.
That was a good play on the part of Nick D'Agostino. He was looking for Mario Campanolo, who was breaking between the two defenders, and the ball just failed to reach him. Otherwise, it could have been an excellent scoring opportunity
Ray
for Toyota.
Nicolucci with that throw-in, but an infraction indicated by referee Cirillo and a free kick awarded to Toyota. Danny Meor, no, it'll be Eddie Battison taking it for the Flyers. Long free kick. Robert Scarsoloni there, but Castrechino controls, chips it forward, looking for Schroeder. Scarsoloni to DiGiacomo to Cavoisier, challenged by Flyers. Bob Gonco plays it wide to Palladino. Palladino for Team Toyota. Challenge there, looking for some support to Larry Cavoisier in the middle. Cavoisier plays it forward. Here's Nick D'Agostino once again, looking for Campanolo, but Vacachuro is there. Cuts the ball out to the far wing and comes forward. Plays it for Zulich. Vacachuro once again with the ball. Vacachuro coming forward on a good run. Tackled by Ray Nicolucci and an infraction indicated by referee Cirillo.
That was a good run by the sweeper, Vacachuro, who took the ball from inside his own penalty box, and he moved down, beat one man, got the ball back, and he got a foul as a result. But it was a good run on the right flank. And
over the near wing to Rob Falvo, who's moved up from his fullback position. Falvo tries to play it forward, but DiGiacomo Antonio plays it back nicely to keeper Scarsoloni. Scarsoloni with the ball. And a clearance. Vacachuro gets a foot to it, but misplays the ball. It goes into touch, taken quickly by Campanolo. Campanolo to D'Agostino. D'Agostino to Nicolucci. Nicolucci with the ball in midfield. Todd Damon's moved up from his fullback position. On the far wing, challenged and into touch. Throw into Team Toyota. We're seeing a little more offensive action on the part of Team Toyota,
yes.
Fullbacks in particular, I've noticed.
They're pinching in and helping the forwards.
D'Agostino off Falvo and a corner kick for Team Toyota. An opportunity here for a set play. Always dangerous.
If by chance, this being a cup final, if by chance we have a tie after regulation time, it will be a 2 15-minute halves of overtime, and then we'll have a shootout. The famous or infamous shootout after that.
After the World Cup, that's for sure. And that's DiGiacomo Antonio with the corner. It's low, into the middle. Nicolucci with the left foot. And it gets under it, but high, over the net.
It's one part of the the Canadian game or North American game compared to the European or South American, Bob, is that the skill level. You find that 15 and 16-year-olds, noticeably in the World Cup, they can really shoot the ball from 35 meters out and hit the net every time, if not score.
Well, we may have an opportunity to see some of that European skill next week as Glasgow University Football Club plays Team Toyota at Queen's Athletic Field. 7:30 is kickoff time. We're looking for an excellent crowd. What should be a super contest, international soccer. Capitola with a shot, and looks like a goal kick indicated by the linesman. But an excellent opportunity there for Toyota.
It was just a super shot there by Mario Campanolo. The play would have been offside as the linesman had his flag out, but it was a great try on his part.
Well, he's obviously got the power behind the shot. Now it's a matter of getting it on the net.
And getting the accuracy, too.
That's right. Eddie Battison with the goal kick for Italia Flyers. To Vacachuro. Vacachuro challenged by Mario D'Agostino. Plays it to Rob Falvo. Falvo to Vacachuro, who's challenged. And Nicolucci strips from the ball for Nick D'Agostino. But Rob Denny is there. demonstrating the speed that we talked about in the first half, cutting that ball out, putting it into touch, and giving his midfield an opportunity to come back and help
But
out.
again, it was as a case of a bad turnover on the part of the Flyers. I think they tried to control the ball just like the Team Toyota does in the back four, and I don't think they've got the pose or the experience to do that. Instead of kicking the ball out of harm's way, they tried to just give and go there, and they lost possession. They were lucky to escape with that one.
And the ball goes into touch off Todd Schroeder, so we'll have Robert Scarcelloni for Team Toyota with the throw-in. Scarcelloni to Gonko for Team Toyota. Looking for Courvoisier, challenged there by Kramer Forth. Throw-in awarded to the Flyers, and Rob Zulich will be taking the throw-in for Team Toyota. One other event of note that's coming up on the Civic Holiday weekend in August, the first weekend of August, we'll have the annual Hawks tournament. This year it's classed as an international tournament. There are 37 teams thus far from out of town who have accepted the invitation to come. They're coming from all over Canada, but perhaps even more interestingly, we have one team from Germany that will be coming to play in the Hawks tournament. I think they're going to be playing 2 year in an age division that's 2 years up, because the perception is that they'll be that much better than local and Southern Ontario players of the same age. So they'll be, I think they're a 16-year-old team playing in the junior division.
It's probably one of the best tournaments in Canada, and it's certainly one of the most popular tournaments. Out of all the teams that they have, I think they turn away just as many teams that they wanted to come up here. It's a soccer weekend in Sudbury. I hope the people come out and watch some excellent soccer at all levels.
That's right, from 9 years of age right through to 18, at virtually every soccer facility in the city. There will be matches from fairly early in the morning right through till 6, 7 o'clock at night as the ball goes into touch. So we would invite everybody to what's going to be an absolutely superb week of soccer, starting with the Glasgow Team Toyota game on the 29th and followed on the weekend by the Sudbury Hawks tournament, international soccer for both events. And we'd invite anyone and everyone in Sudbury to come out and enjoy the action and enjoy the fun of international soccer in Sudbury. Ray Nicolucci for Team Toyota. Looking for a target. To Courvoisier. Courvoisier chested back to Nicolucci. Challenged by Forth. Plays it through, but Falvo is there. Falvo for the Flyers. DiGiacomo gets control. Challenged by Zorbas. DiGiacomo maintains control. Challenged by Falvo. Gets the cross. Good work there. Off the head of D'Agostino. And just over the bar, but excellent work by Marino DiGiacomo in the corner, Greg.
Yes, he did just a super job getting it on two opponents and crossing the ball low and away from the goalkeeper. An intelligent move on his part. Normally, when you have a goalkeeper as quick as Dan Muir, every time the ball is inside the 6-yard box, he is capable to come out and stop the ball from getting to the opponent. In this particular case, the cross came away from him, he spun the ball away from the goalkeeper, and they were very close on that one.
Vacachero, Scarcelloni for Toyota gets ahead to it. We have a Flyers player down, that's Todd Schroeder. Doesn't seem to be too seriously hurt. He's back up and moving slowly back into position. Once again, a Toyota throw-in in the Flyers zone. Looking for Courvoisier into the box. Foot came up by Campanolo there and whistled down. Potentially dangerous there, as Eddie Battiston was nearby, and that could have been potentially serious had there been contact between the two.
Yeah, that's one thing about the officials, Bob. They're very, very careful to call that every time there is a dangerous play. And by that we mean when the opponent lifts his foot a little high. And that is, as you mentioned, potentially very, very dangerous. Many times, they'll miss the ball and hit somebody's face, and it's not a pleasant situation.
Castrechino to Gino Castrechino. Gino Castrechino challenged there, but Vacachero pushes the ball forward, comes forward with it himself. To Falvo. Falvo. To Vacachero. Vacachero. Off DiGiacomo into touch. And Rob Falvo with the throw-in for the Flyers. Falvo with the throw-in. Scarcelloni moves up, gets ahead to it. Mario D'Agostino chips that ball forward, but the Flyers come back. Gonko When in doubt, kick it out, and that's exactly what he did. There were only two Toyota defenders back, and they were being challenged by 2 or 3 Flyers. Safe thing, get the ball.
One of the very few times in the second half that the Flyers have really put any pressure on Toyota's defense. It's one part of the game that has not really looked very good tonight, and that is attacking or pressurizing the defense. As a result, as we said before, the Toyota defense are left there to do whatever they want very well every time they have the ball.
And referee's now satisfied with the position. No, he's still directing traffic there, as the player was marching up the sidelines for the throw-in. Long shot, well high and wide, no danger there on the part of the Flyers, and for Team Toyota, keeper Scarcelloni goes back, retrieves the ball, and Bob Gonko will be taking the goal kick for Team Toyota. Scarcelloni with the ball, letting his players move forward and getting into position. Looking for the clearance. High ball on the near wing, into touch, and we'll have a Flyers throw-in. Foul ball. Looking for fourth, but DiGiacomo gets to it. To D'Agostino, to Nicolucci. Nicolucci in the middle to Mario D'Agostino. Leaves it for Nick. Nick D'Agostino to Campanolo, but Vacachuro is there for the Flyers. Chipped forward. Courvoisier cuts it down. Fourth comes forward. Castrechino with a good ball. Fourth coming forward. Good shot, but keeper Scarcelloni covered that low drive. Came off the line well, cut the angle down, got his body behind the ball.
That was a good shot by Kramer from about, I was inside the box, 20 meters out, but there was no problem for the keeper.
Rob Zulich with the throw-in for the Flyers. For Kramer fourth. Infraction indicated on the throw-in, and we'll have a throw-in taken by Team Toyota. We saw a couple of those kinds of lapses in the Ontario Cup game as well, Greg. Poor throw-ins, improper throw-ins, whistled down by the official.
That's something that there's no excuse for it, Bob. I mean, it's a very basic skill. It's an easy thing to do, and I think the reason why they lose their concentration most of the time, and they lose possession on the ball as a result. I mean, as I said, there's no excuse.
Zorbas keeps that ball in play to Castrechino. Castrechino for the Flyers, looking for fourth on the far wing. Have the Flyers changed their formation? I see Kramer fourth doing much more running up front than he was in the first half, Greg.
No, they haven't. They're still playing with 2 forwards, and I think Kramer is coming up to help the forwards. The only thing with the Flyers in this half, they haven't maintained the same intensity that they had in the first half, as a group, as a team, and I think that's why. And of course, Toyota has so far in the last 15 minutes have played extremely well.
Scarcelloni gets ahead to it there. 14 Toyota. Zorbas with a head. Schroeder controlling the ball on the wing, beats Damon. Foul ball coming forward. Good ball to Schroeder. Schroeder challenged by 3 Toyota players. DiGiacomo, good control. Lovely ball back through traffic to his sweeper, Gonko. Gonko to Courvoisier on the far wing. They're switching the play back into the middle to D'Agostino. Back to Gonko. Gonko on the far wing, looking for Mario D'Agostino. Palladino is there. Palladino, 14 Toyota. Plays it to Renato Nicolucci. Renato Nicolucci to Mario D'Agostino. D'Agostino challenged by Rob Denny. Into touch, and we have a Team Toyota throw-in. We see a little more, I think, Greg, of the Team Toyota forwards laying the ball back for the midfield and allowing the midfielders to determine the direction and switch the field of play.
Yeah, overall, Team Toyota has come on strong in the second half, and
good shot there by DiGiacomo. Excellent, and a great save by Danny Muir. He came off his line very quickly, moved to his left, and got his hands on that ball to push it wide of the net.
That was a good left-footed shot by Marino. I didn't get enough on that one, but I think it was labeled to the far corner. And Danny made a good save.
And we'll be looking at
giving a corner in the
right.
process.
And it'll be Marino DiGiacomo, the gentleman who took that shot, setting up for the corner kick. And again, we see only one of the Team Toyota players actually in the 6-yard area. The rest of them on the edge of the 6 and 18-yard box. This looks like it's going to be an outswinger, and it is. Off the head of Mario D'Agostino, and a goal kick awarded. And it looks as if there'll be major substitutions by Team Toyota in just a moment, as John Martelli Rob McTaggart and Mario Cherry get ready to come into the game. Reno Di Giacomantonio coming off. Mario D'Agostino and Mario Campanolo. Vacachuro with the goal kick. After the substitutions, infraction indicated by referee Cirillo and a free kick awarded to Team Toyota in center field. Midfield, I guess we should say. Center field is baseball. Scarcelloni. Rob Scarcelloni, the long ball through. Falvo gets ahead to it, chested by Zorbas, but Toyota come away. Martelli on the near wing. Martelli looking for support, plays it back to Todd Damon. Damon looking for someone on the left side. Palladino comes through, but can't maintain control, and it's over the goal line, and we'll be looking at a goal kick by the Flyers. But we're seeing much more of the play in the Flyers end this half than we did in the first, Greg.
Yes, by far. Toyota are much more aggressive to the ball. They play with much more intensity in the second half, and they're all attacking from the sweeper all the way to the forwards, and I think they're causing a lot of problems for the Flyer squad.
Bob Gonco for Team Toyota to Nick D'Agostino, back to Larry Courvoisier. Courvoisier with the ball, trying to switch the direction of the play over to this side, but Ralph Falvo is there for the Flyers. Falvo with the ball, tries to push it down the wing for Todd Schroeder, but no success. Into touch, Todd Damon to Nick D'Agostino. Nick D'Agostino, challenged from behind by Kramer Forth. Whistle down by referee Cirillo. And Rob McTaggart gets the ball set for the free kick. Free kick's going to be taken by Bob Gonco for Team Toyota as players in the red uniforms push forward. Bob Gonco into the box, looking for Nick D'Agostino. Cleared away by Kramer Forth. Well past Carlo Castrechino, into touch as Robert Scarcelloni gets ready to take this throw in. Being asked to back it up by referee Cirillo. Palladino, challenged but maintains possession. Palladino with the ball, challenged by Schroeder. Into Nick D'Agostino. D'Agostino plays it back to Todd Damon to D'Agostino. D'Agostino surrounded by Flyers. Plays the ball to McTaggart. McTaggart plays it back. Mario Cherry with the ball as Todd Damon comes through. Good ball there for Martelli, but Vacachuro with his speed for the Flyers can't maintain it on the field of play as it goes into touch, and Martelli looking for the throw in. Leaves it to Rob McTaggart, who is capable of a very long throw-in, Greg. And
he's known for that, Bob. He can throw the ball about
off the head of Damon.
Easily.
Flicked forward, but Mior is there. Excuse me for interrupting, Greg. You were saying that in terms of his ability to throw that on that throw.
Oh, he can throw the ball from the sideline to the penalty spot, which is about 30 meters.
Zulich with the ball, challenged by Courvoisier. Courvoisier comes away with the ball. Courvoisier through the legs there, coming forward once again. A good run, good skill. Lays the ball off to Renato Nicolucci. Nicolucci to McTaggart. McTaggart back to Nicolucci. Nicolucci moving forward, no challenge. Todd Schroeder coming in. Not sure if he was looking for Mario Cherry to run onto that ball or...
I think he was waiting for the left winger to cut in the front of the net. He was trying to place the ball to the far post.
And Dan Mior to Rob Denny. Back to keeper Mior. With the clearance. Pushing indicated on the part of Scarcelloni by referee Cirillo, and we'll have a free kick awarded to Italia Flyers. This will be about the first time in 10 minutes, Greg, that the Flyers have had more than 2 or 3 players on the Toyota side of a half.
They have been defending in the last 15 minutes or so, and they have been in their own half. They haven't managed to put together any attack whatsoever.
Vacachuro with a lovely drive. It was high.
That was good for 3 points, I would
That's
say.
right. High, straight.
Between the uprights.
Between the uprights. It's the kind of drive that I think I talked, the opposite of the kind of drive I talked about in the last game.
Good for the other
yeah,
football.
Yeah, yeah. Much more like my brother off the tee than me, I must say. Scarcelloni with the goal kick. McTaggart heads it to Damon. Damon back to McTaggart. McTaggart with some support to Cherry. Cherry challenged by Battiston. To Kramer fourth. Kramer fourth looking for Schroeder. Good ball. Schroeder on Gonko. Schroeder, little support here. Flyers taking their time getting up. Schroeder beats his man. Beats two. Out front. Crevoiseur's there. Zorbas. Zorbas once again with the shot off Gonko. And Crevoisier comes away for Team Toyota. Long ball here. Vacachuro's back for the Flyers. Zulich. Gonko lets it go. Offside indicated by linesman Anselmo. And despite the complaints of the crowd, the referee agrees with the linesman and is indicating to the Flyers player, Carlo Castrechino, that when that whistle was blown, he should have stopped play. He plays to the whistle.
It's the only excitement we had in the last 10 minutes or so.
Certainly, it's only been the last 2 minutes by the Flyers have generated a fair bit of excitement. Todd Schroeder exhibited some excellent skills
from
on
the
the
left
goal
flank.
line. That's right. And a chance there for the Flyers, but offside. But Kramer fourth maintains control for the Flyers. Looking for some support. Challenge there by D'Agostino. Whistle down by the referee. And the referee is having a chat with young Mr. Palladino regarding the way in which he pushed that ball down the field, and Robert Danny is taking advantage to push that ball forward for the free kick. Danny looking for fourth, who gets ahead to it. Castrechino challenged there by Crevoisier. Palladino. Castrechino, but Crevoisier with the long clearance. Battiston is back with Vacachuro, plays it back to his keeper, Danny Mior. And in the last 3-4 minutes, we've seen quite a swing in the play with the Flyers coming forward now and getting some opportunities. Crevoisier for Toyota. Challenged, and Kramer fourth comes away with that ball. He's got some support here. Off the hand of Robert Scarcelloni and whistled down by the referee. There was clearly no advantage there, Greg, and so the referee had to whistle it, whether it was intentional or not.
Yeah, it looked pretty obvious from here, Rob.
Yep.
The ball was, Kramer was trying to hit, I believe, young Castrechino on the right flank when Scarcelloni used his hands to stop the pass.
Well, we see Team Toyota setting up the wall. And referee Cirillo stepping off the mandatory 10 yards, indicating that the players must back up a foot or so. And potentially dangerous set play here. Tufalvo with the shot off the wall. Castrechino, Gino Castrechino with the ball. Challenged by McTaggart. McTaggart comes away with that ball, plays it back to his keeper. Cool play by Rob McTaggart. And that shows his experience as a fullback over the years, Greg, and as a sweeper.
Oh, he's by far one of the best defenders in Ontario, if not in Canada.
And we have an infraction indicated there by referee Cirillo on that play back to keeper Scarcelloni. I don't know whether it seemed to me, Greg, that the keeper may have handled it twice.
Yes.
And that was immediately detected by the referee. And so we have a free kick. Toyota building an even bigger wall here. Keeper Scarcelloni directing traffic. We have Todd Schroeder and Gino Castrechino here. Great opportunity. And we'll see what the Flyers do with this shot. Chipped out, looking for the head. Oh, an excellent play, and keeper Scarcelloni with a great save. That was a good set play, a nice chip off the head, I think, of Rob Zulich there,
Yes,
Greg,
it was.
and keeper Scarcelloni was alert to that. got down and covered up that ball beautifully. That was an excellent scoring opportunity for the Flyers, a chance to pull into the lead here because we've only got about 18 minutes left in regulation time. And in this Charity Cup final, it's still a scoreless draw between Team Toyota and CS Italia. Palladino challenged there by Zulich. Throw in awarded by the referee to Italia Flyers. Shot there off Bob Gonko. Kramer fourth with the shot, but once again, keeper Scarcelloni right on the right spot at the right time. He's positioning himself extremely well in this game, Greg.
He has been every time he's been tested, although the shots have not been, you know, from a good angle. They're not a good angle shots. They're percentage shots, you know, from the side of the net. But every time he had to come up with a big save, so far he has, and he's kept him in the game when called upon.
Rob Falvo gets ahead to it. Whistled down by the referee as John Martelli went underneath Rob Falvo there on that header. Potential here for a little pushing and shoving, and referee Cirillo is indicating to Rob Falvo to keep his hands off the other players. Now that's the kind of action you expect from a referee, to maintain control so that things don't erupt, you don't run into trouble on the field.
You know, especially when both teams have played approximately 5 or I believe 6 games so far this year, and they're going to play another 5 or 6 games for the rest of the year.
Toyota, Nicolucci challenged there by Battiston. Off the foot of Kramer fourth. Played forward, but Battiston is there, and certainly in the last 10 minutes, Italia Flyers have shown that they can play offensive football and challenge the Team Toyota defenders very successfully. Falvo gets ahead to it. Martelli there. Martelli for Toyota. Waiting for support. Into McTaggart. McTaggart. Beautiful ball through for Cherry. Cherry challenged by Vacachuro. Cherry with the ball. Looking for the cross. Challenged. Maintaining control. Off Vacachuro, and Rob Falvo comes away with the ball. Falvo plays it through to Vacachuro. Vacachuro with the long ball. Bob Gonko gets to it. Challenged by Castrechino. To Courvoisier. Courvoisier with the ball. Courvoisier slips it through to Mario Cherry. Mario Cherry with the ball. Cherry challenged. Plays it over on the far wing for Palladino. Palladino on Zulich. Zulich for the Flyers, but Robert Denny comes away with that ball for the Flyers. Challenged by Palladino. Into touch and a throw in to the Italia Flyers.
Certainly there's been a lot of action in the last 10-15 minutes, and I think the Flyers started to come on offensively, and as you notice, Bob, both midfielders, the two midfielders that rely so much on, Kramer fourth and Gino Castrechino, started to move the ball well, started to pass the ball back and forth to each other creating plays, and as a result, you know, they were able to move forward and help the forward line and create some good scoring opportunities.
And certainly it makes a big difference when you've only got two front runners, as the Flyers have. You need that support from midfield desperately in order to make a dent in that four-man wall that Toyota has. Eddie Battiston plays it forward. Zulich loses control, and Renato Nicolucci to Nick D'Agostino. Nick D'Agostino, 14 Toyota, from John Martelli. Martelli with the ball. He has some support. Looking, good through ball here for Todd Damon on the overlap. Todd Damon, Vacachuro gets to the ball. And referee Cirillo indicated an infraction there.
There was a good defensive play on the part of Vacachuro on this particular long ball, or overlapping wrong by Damon.
And once again, Pasquale Vacachuro indicated his speed coming across to challenge for that ball and ensure that there was no danger to the Flyers. Referee has spoken to Todd Damon about the infraction, and Danny Mior will be making the clearance. Throws the ball out on the near wing to Rob Falvo. Falvo plays it back. Vacachuro is there. And into touch.
Again, another bad turnover, you know, on the part of the Flyers. They've tried to, every time they tried to move the ball from the back four, and they've done it many times during the game, they managed to lose possession, you know, and it's a gift. It's a turnover in your own defending third.
Long throw in taken by Rob Falvo, but headed safely out of danger by Vacachuro, conceding the corner kick to Team Toyota, so we'll be looking at Rob McTaggart, it looks like.
Another corner kick, and what could have been a very harmless play from the fullback to push the ball first time up to the midfielders or the forward line. And they tried to, again, pass back and forth to each other, and they lost possession. Now they've given Toyota 2 chances, one on a throw-in, and this one here on a corner kick.
Rob McTaggart setting the ball up. And Rob is capable of bending this ball, but it will be an outswinger. Looking for Cherry, but Muir comes off his line, pushes it safely out of harm's way. Good play by keeper Muir. Shot through, but blocked. Castrechino there. Todd Damon for Toyota coming forward. Todd Damon challenged, maintains control. Weak shot there, well wide of the net. No problems for the Flyers.
That was a good save on the part of Danny Muir. It's one part of his game that has been noted to be a bit weak on, and it's coming out and dealing with crosses. And in the last few games, he's really concentrated well on it, and his timing is excellent, at least tonight. And he's making contact with the ball and clearing out of harm's way.
Well, certainly in that case, because had he not been there, Mario Cherry certainly was.
Well, there were about 4 or 5 red shirts ready to just jump on the ball, pounce on it.
Courvoisier at midfield for Team Toyota. As Palladino pushes it forward, takes the return pass from D'Agostino to Cherry. Cherry in the middle, gets a left foot to it, but can't make much in the way of contact, and the ball goes well wide of the Italia Flyers goal. And we're now almost 80 minutes into regulation time of this Charity Cup final between Team Toyota and the Italia Flyers.
On the last sequence of plays, Bob, young Dan Palladino, who has been one of the most improved players in the league, and certainly this year he's playing his best soccer. Man, a super play on the left wing in setting up Mario Cherry for a shot on goal.
We're still scoreless, waiting for someone to finish what have been several interesting scoring opportunities. Finish one off by putting it in the back of the net. Bob Gonco for Toyota with control up the sideline. Robert Denny can't maintain control of that ball on the far wing, and it goes into touch. We'll be looking at a Team Toyota throw-in.
This is a time of the game where Team Toyota is most dangerous, known to be, and they've proven it in the last few games. 2 days ago, they won their semifinal game by scoring in the last 2 minutes of the game to tie the score and win eventually in a shootout. And the previous game too, or 2 games ago I should say, they also tied or won the game in the last 5 minutes of the game. So the Flyers have to be very, very alert and aware of that.
Scarcelloni to McTaggart. McTaggart coming forward. McTaggart with the ball to Cherry. Mario Cherry for Team Toyota. Cherry with the ball, trying to change the field of play, but Zorbas is there. Called on an infraction, handball, as he tried to chest that ball down. Greg, it's looking perhaps more and more like we might be going into overtime. Could you explain what the rules are? Is there a break at the end of the game before overtime starts? How long are the overtime?
Well, the overtime period, there are actually 2 halves, 15 minutes in each half. And there's a short break, and then the overtime starts, and after 15 minutes, a switch around again, switch hands, then continue to play the last 15 minutes, at which time, if it's still tied, the players on the field are expected to take the 5 penalty shots for each team.
Bob Gonco with the clearance, and again, Danny Muir off his line, punches that ball well out of the 18-yard box. Excellent play by Danny Muir. And as we mentioned in the first half, Greg, you said that was one of the most difficult things for a keeper to do, was to punch the ball rather than to catch it.
Because under tremendous pressure, because normally when he has to punch the ball, you find that 1 or 2 opponents are jumping at the same time.
Yeah, and I think this is the 3rd or 4th occasion in which Danny has come off his line to do that, and has done it, been successful every time. Oh, flicked on. Chance there for Palladino, but Castrechino for the Flyers. Ray Nicolucci trying to keep the ball in play, but it's into touch. And Eddie Battiston for the Flyers. But certainly the last 5 minutes or so, Greg, Toyota's been putting on a great deal of pressure.
It seems to be following the same pattern as they have in the last few games, Bob. They really put her on at the end. They're a very experienced team. They're very, very well conditioned, too. They're in super shape, and as you can see, they can go for 90 minutes.
Well, it's certainly showing, and off Zorbas there on the throw-in, and so McTaggart with the throw-in for Toyota to Cherry. Cherry challenged by Battiston. Eddie Battiston and Falvo on Cherry. Cherry trying to maintain control, gets it to Rob McTaggart. And Team Toyota awarded the throw-in as McTaggart was challenged by Schroeder. McTaggart with the throw-in. Off Courvoisier, out in front of the box. But
that was a smart play on the part of Team Toyota. Good throw-in by Rob. The ball was redirected in front of the net, and Nick D'Agostino, he was in a 3 or 4 feet close range here to score on that.
Flyers, Vacachuro to Zorbas, controls the ball, plays it in the middle. Infraction against, I believe, Rob McTaggart, indicated by referee Cirillo, and we'll have a free kick for the Flyers as they push players forward now, hoping to exert a little pressure on their own. Falvo looking for Zorbas. Zorbas gets ahead to it. Schroeder challenged by Damon. McTaggart. Falvo puts it into touch, and we'll have a Team Toyota throw in. Certainly, we've mentioned Rob Falvo's name a number of times again tonight, Greg. He seems to be virtually tireless all over the field and controls a great deal of the play in the back.
He's a little tiger back there. I mean, he reads the play so well, and he's not a very tall player, and yet he seems to be out jumping almost every opponent he's come against.
Falvo with the ball, through to Bob Gonco. Gonco into the middle. Renato Nicolucci is there, and Ray clears it well into off the post on the stands here in front of us, and it'll be an Italia Flyers throw-in. Van Zorbas for Italia Flyers, looking for a target. Rob Zulich is making a run. Zulich challenged by Palladino. Bob Gonco is there, but Kramer fourth came through. No signal from the referee. Play on. Martelli looking for support in the middle. Battiston.
Again, another close call in the front of the net. A very, very close call. You know, many referees would have called that a penalty shot. Kramer fourth, got possession, broke around the sweeper. He was stripped by Bob Gonco. It could have been a penalty shot.
And Kramer...
It's a tough situation again for the referee to make. We have 6 minutes left in the game, and a penalty shot would ultimately give one team a victory. But, you know, it was one of those things that some referees wouldn't matter what time of the day was. I mean, they would have called it because it was an obvious tripping inside the area.
Played back to keeper Scarcelloni. Todd Damon back to his keeper. And Marino Scarcelloni with the clearance. Flicked on by Nick D'Agostino. Through for John Martelli. Martelli on a break here. He's got a chance. And mishits that ball. That was an excellent ball, through ball. Both the flick by D'Agostino and then the through ball by Mario Cherry.
It was a super play. Young Martelli, they got a little bit excited looking at the net, staring at him. You know, he missed an excellent scoring opportunity against Salvarini the other day when he could have put the game away when he broke in all alone. And, you know, it's a difficult thing. It looks easy from out here, but when you're in front of the net, you know, a lot of decisions to make. And how you're going to shoot the ball, where you put it high or low, or get around the goalkeeper, and you don't have that much time either.
Well, we have Vacachuro playing it to his keeper, who was outside the 18-yard box, brought it back in so he could pick it up. And Rob Denny playing the ball forward. Infraction indicated against Rob Scarcelloni, who goes down. Looks like a thigh or injury, Greg, or referee Cirillo over there quickly to make sure that the injury isn't serious. As Robert Scarcelloni, who's been playing, I think, left back position the entire game, up on his feet, moving back into position for Team Toyota. Vacachuro with the free kick. Courvoisier gets ahead to it. McTaggart pushes it forward. Martelli. Good ball by Martelli. Nick D'Agostino is making a break. Martelli into space to Mario Cherry. Cherry's got some room here for the shot. Right on keeper Mior, and Mior positioned himself excellently, no difficulty, knocking that ball down first and then picking it up.
Again, another good scoring opportunity for Team Toyota in the last 2 minutes, both resulting from a counterattack.
Marino Scarcelloni to Robert Scarcelloni. Scarcelloni for Toyota. Off the head of Castrechino to Carlo Castrechino coming forward. This guy can shoot. Oh, and an excellent save off keeper Scarcelloni. Great chance there for the Flyers, and we're seeing some good action at both ends, Greg, now.
Yes, we have. I think we've got more action now in the last 5 minutes than we've had throughout the game.
Well, obviously they want to finish this in regulation time, both teams. Courvoisier with a head to it. Plays it forward to Nick D'Agostino. Nick D'Agostino has some support to Mario Cherry. Cherry with the ball in the middle of the field. Forward for D'Agostino, challenged by Robert Denny. And there's two speedsters matched against each other, and young Rob Denny stayed with Nick D'Agostino all the way and cleared that ball over the goal line. But in the process, of course, Greg concedes the corner kick.
Yes. Nick D'Agostino, of course, as everybody knows, he is a premier striker in the Sudbury League. He's been a top scorer here for a number of years. He's an opportunist, and you can't afford to give him anything around the area because he knows where the net is.
Well, we can tell that the game is taking its toll because I see referee Cirillo reaching for keeper Muir's water bottle there as we approach about 2.5 minutes left to go in the game in this Charity Cup final. No score thus far. And a goal kick indicated by linesman Sai Wong on that corner. Referee Cirillo checking his watch, and it looks like we may have a substitution by Team Toyota. Mario D'Agostino may be coming in, replacing his brother Nick. And Mario is another one of those players, in fact, the player I really admired last year. He just worked and worked and worked. His work there, I think, is phenomenal for Toyota. Falvo coming forward once again. Tries to push it forward, but it's into touch. And we have Team Toyota with the throw-in.
Again, another turnover by the Italia Flyers.
Yeah. And we resume action here. Oh! Kick there by Cherry off the face of Denny, but as it's cleared forward by the Toyota, cleared away again by the Flyers. Castrechino there, but Martelli, Damon, Van Zorbas pushing it forward, but nobody making a run on that left side for the Flyers, and Rob McTaggart watched it go into play with less than a minute to go on my watch in regulation time in this Charity Cup final between Team Toyota and the Italia Flyers. With some excellent scoring opportunities thus far, Greg, but nobody's been able to finish.
Yeah, especially in the last 10 minutes, Bob. Both teams on both ends, a lot of opportunities on both ends.
And here we go with an infraction indicated by referee Cirillo. Thus far, I think it's been a well-played game, fairly clean contest, certainly well officiated. Perhaps some controversial calls in the box, but they're obviously here to play soccer.
Very clean game.
Bob Gonko plays it back to his keeper, who plays it out to Rob Scarcelloni. Scarcelloni, and that's the end of regulation time in this game between the Italia Flyers and Team Toyota. We'll be back in just a moment. Orange and gold stripe, and I'll be doing the play-by